Jeezy has been outed as a rat, has been outed as a cooperator. This time, he wasn't outed by Blue Da Vinci or Gucci Mane.
Talk to me.
No, he's been outed by the FBI themselves. The snitching allegations on Jeezy is actually centered around the two biggest storylines of his career: his beef with Gucci Mane and his association with BMF. Back in 2005, when Gucci Mane and Jeezy was beefing, their beef actually led to somebody being murdered. A man called Pookie Loc, which was really good friends of Jeezy. Now, the publicized story of this is Gucci Mane caught the body in self-defense. However, Gucci Mane was initially charged, then it was dropped due to self-defense, and we learned all about Gucci Mane's legal troubles due to this murder. But what's not told is that murder of Pookie Loc actually got Jeezy on the Feds' radar. And the Feds actually blamed Jeezy more for that murder than they blamed Gucci Mane. If you guys are kind of blurry about what exactly happened between Gucci Mane and Jeezy, let me, redraw your memory.
Yeah, refresh my memory.
With Gucci Mane and Jeezy leading the way in Atlanta rap, it was only inevitable that a collab would come soon. In 2005, Gucci Mane and Jeezy would record 2 songs together. The first song was Black Tees, which was a response to Dem Franchise Boys' hit song, White Tee. And the second song was So Icy, or just Icy. So Icy would go crazy in the streets almost immediately, and would then be featured as the main single on Trap House 1. The song was such a massive hit that even high schools across the country banned the iconic snowman tee that Jeezy wore in the video. But as time went on, rumors surfaced that Jeezy may have been upset with how things went. Although it's still not 100% clear why Jeezy was upset, we can assume it has something to do with the fact that he wanted the song to be on his upcoming album. He quickly took to the studio to release a diss track titled Stay Strapped, where at the end of the song he would put a $10,000 bounty on Gucci's So Icy chain.
Real talk, I got a bounty on that shit, 10 stacks, man, you know Jeezy paid.
Jeezy would start to distance himself from Gucci and cause some strain on their friendship. Gucci would also get upset at the fact they could never perform their song live, which he felt they were missing out on a huge part of promotion. Because once again, this is in the days where live shows made a huge impact on getting your music heard. But Jeezy didn't stop, and he continued the beef. Over the coming weeks, the petty beef would turn into something much more. One summer evening, Gucci would go home with a stripper after a party, just a month after the So Icy hit dropped. 5 men stormed the home where Gucci was staying, armed with pistols, brass knuckles, and duct tape. They would get into a physical altercation, pistol whipping the stripper and hitting Gucci in the face. One of the men allegedly yelled, "Shoot him." Upon realizing his life was at risk, Gucci shot back. Some people say he reached for his gun, where other stories say he may have disarmed one of the men and took his. He shot the gun, killing one of the men, as the others ran off. 3 days would go by until someone found the body of the deceased man in the woods behind an elementary school. When the smoke cleared, authorities identified the man as Pookie Loc, one of Jeezy's prodigies under his CTE label. After 9 days, Gucci Mane would turn himself in, claiming self-defense. He released a statement saying he's not a murderer, but he was scared for his life, and he had to be a man about it.
For some reason, Jeezy has always maintained his innocence and denied that he sent men to kill Gucci. He's always says he's innocent.
So now we understand the backstory. Cool.
However, the fans wasn't buying it. Gucci wasn't buying it.
I'm not buying it.
The fans weren't buying it. Stay with me, okay? At this point in Jeezy's life in 2005, everything was going downhill for him. His homie died trying to kill Gucci. His crew that he was rolling with at the time, BMF, well, they got indicted for a RICO.
Uh-oh.
Now, everybody got indicted but Jeezy. And a lot of people was very confused about that. Because even Blue Da Vinci got indicted. And Blue Da Vinci, you can probably make an argument, was around BMF just as much as Jeezy was around BMF.
Okay.
Well, Blue Da Vinci did a Ken Capone interview a couple of years ago. And during this interview, Blue Da Vinci broke down how Jeezy got out of being indicted with BMF.
Uh-oh.
When the feds initially came and indicted
I think I remember this.
Everybody associated with BMF.
I remember this.
White lady, do you know that Gunna told you was a bitch? Like all that shit, bitch ass shit. I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm cut from the cloth that you got your information on whoever is the rap.
And I'm not, my fault, I'm moving around so much. I'm trying to just clean up my room a little bit while I watch. You feel me? Just because I'm reacting don't mean I can't multitask. You feel me?
And you got it in black
It's not
and
no
white.
regular
You understand what went on with such case or whatever. You feel me? So, when it come down to me, it's just different.
Was Jeezy in the paperwork?
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's public information. You can look up right now on your phone. Man testifies about Jeezy's cocaine selling. Type in your phone something like that. You're going to see one of the two name and lights. Ralph Sims, the same that told about the limo that tried to say I told. Ralph Sims, Ralphie. Told on Jeezy, told everything Jeezy ever did. Jeezy had like 12. Jeezy had more statements on him than me. What you talking about?
That means some.
Jeezy had like 12. Jeezy had more statements on him than me.
And I'm assuming this guy went to prison for a while, so that means some, bro.
What you talking about? But nah, he didn't get indicted because he did some more other shit. I feel like that. I know some things he did, like he turned Meech's cars into the feds. That same Porsche truck and that Ferrari I was talking about a while before he came to Miami and doing some lie detector tests about this.
To be able to afford a Ferrari off of selling drugs is crazy.
One case he caught 1 year in 06 when I went to go meet him. We had a shootout, not against him, but some other.
That's probably why he was in for RICO though, because that's you getting too flashy with it.
Like when me and him start trying to talk, some other popped it off with us, and we end up having a shootout, and he ended up going to jail for a gun. If anybody is familiar with that Miami case, him and Twin came back to do a polygraph test supposed to be for that shit, and the security said that the Meech cars pulled up on flatbeds, nigga, into the federal building when he went and did it, when he was inside for his meeting or whatever. So I know he turned in the cars. Ain't no telling what people be doing, bro. That's all I know he did. And then he told about the gun case that was already thrown out at the state level, and then the feds picked it back up. So everybody look up Big House. You look up Big House. He was a security for Jay-Z. He was a security for Big Meech. He was also a security for Young Jeezy.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeezy put the people on his ass, and he'll let you know if you look him up, he talking his story, and you know, you got all these people with these accounts of these people that's out here. Sorry, y'all, I just be the bearer of bad news because 10 years go by and people act like they ain't never heard nothing, don't know nothing. Like, hold on, the selective politics shit gotta.
This is literally what's happening right now. Like, I don't know when this video came out, but I'm assuming it's been a few years, and now, like, the dominoes are just starting to fall, and what he's saying is making sense now.
If you look
That's
at
how
that
it always
BMF
is.
indictment, they were indicting people. I'm talking about at the low level, just an association, right? Yo, you was claiming BMF, RICO. Yo, there were people on that case who did like 2 years or 3 years for like low level involvement with BMF. But Jeezy, who was with BMF on a daily basis, was not charged. Now, this story has been told by Blue Da Vinci and other members for years, but because they are at a point in their careers where they aren't as successful as Jeezy, it's always been looked at, man, they hate him. Now, Blue Da Vinci would also give another point, like in his interview, at the time he believed, or where he began to think, oh yeah, Jeezy is cooperating with the feds, was with the records and the contracts, right?
My fault. I damn near forgot I was recording for real. I'm not gonna fake it. I'm just listening at this point. I know it's gonna be somebody in the comments saying there's no point in me posting this, but I'm still gonna post it.
So Blue Da Vinci was trying to get off the ground, trying to get the music hot again.
Okay.
He had a record with Jeezy.
Okay.
Now, Jeezy was supposed to clear the record, sign the contract, so it could go.
Okay.
He dropped the record, and the record got pulled from the radio. That's because Jeezy never signed the contract.
Uh-oh.
And he pursued that. And you're about to hear him explain how the pursuit of trying to get Jeezy to sign that contract led him to think, oh, you're cooperating.
And I pushed the record out. It was on Koch. It was getting promoted and all the shit. It was getting promoted correctly. All the numbers was right. I was like 300 and some spins a week on my BDS at the time. And I got a call from my team. It was like, bro, they talking about, it was like a Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday if I am mistaken. I was on the road on my tour bus, and I got a call from my team, and they said that on Thursday, in 2 days, they gonna pull the record from radio if they don't get Jeezy and CTE signature. They want to sign off for the record. So I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, hold on, bro. Let me call this and blah, blah, blah. So I called it. And this wasn't the first time I called him about that. It was already mentioned before they dropped the shit. So they dropped it, and we still didn't have the signatures. And I think it was dropped on good faith that we was going to get the signatures from Alan Grunblatt at Koch. They got the shit. They worked it out with Clear Channel or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? So the record could stay up there, and they was telling us they going to have the paperwork or however it went. But them motherfuckers, I called Jeezy. He swear up and down to God in heaven. He signed off and all this shit. But I had my signature, then my signature for BMF Entertainment as the owner. Then we had Alan M's signature from Koch. Then we had...
I damn near seen all these clips already, like this whole video already, so I'm gonna just skip to when Flacco was talking.
Like a polygraph test for the incident to prove that he was not the one that shot, and like he fought a case for it, etc., right? But at the conclusion of this, Ludovici came to the conclusion, oh, Jeezy is cooperating with the feds, and the feds is probably telling him not to do anything to help out BMF, or else he will get indicted.
The next day I talked to him like, bro, where you at? I'm just gonna pull up. I left my tour route and drove the bus all the way to Miami to go have a conversation with Jeezy about the record being signed off, and that's when that shootout happened that I was just talking about previously. I went to talk to him about that record. That's what the conversation was about.
And he never got to talk to him.
About shit with all the shit with me. And before, as soon as we start talking, Tula was walking down the street with Dre's, and like, oh shit, there go Jeezy, dog. I was like, oh yeah, Blue, Jeezy, yeah, Blue, that's BMF right there, nigga. Oh, bro, let's get a picture. And then my little cousin Twin, Big Twin, he like, oh, nigga, they ain't taking no picture. You see, they trying to talk, so they look like, yeah. And then
The theory has been one of those things that just floated around. People essentially came to the conclusion, man, these is hating niggas trying to tear down Jeezy, who's a successful black man who done beat the streets. All right, these ninjas is hating. Well, a former FBI agent who was actually tasked with investigating this RICO and indicting Jeezy on a RICO, he spoke. Now, apparently, when Pookie Loc got killed by Gucci Mane, and it was believed that Jeezy sent Pookie Loc and them to murder or kill Gucci Mane, and it just backfired, the federal agent would say, yo, they had witnesses, they had wiretaps, they had everything. They were seconds away from indicting Jeezy on a clear-cut, open and shut RICO for the murder of Pookie Loc. Kind of like how they did with YFN Lucci, where YFN Lucci went sliding on the ops. His homies hop out, start shooting. The ops shot back. The homie died. They charged YFN Lucci with a RICO for his homie's murder. They was going to do the same with Jeezy. But the FBI agent would say something very odd happened that stopped all of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the guy's name because he's pretty famous, and to be fair, he was never charged with a crime. But we had these two rappers in Atlanta in the early 2000s, and they were beefing with each other, trading diss tracks, the whole thing. Then rapper number one, the famous one, orders his goons to go beat up rapper number two and steal this gaudy gold and diamond necklace he wore in all of his videos, and that's where it got interesting. The goon squad shows up at rapper number two's place. He pulls a gun and starts shooting.
Right.
One of the attackers,
bro, have I already seen this video?
About 200 yards away from the house before he drops dead. Rapper number two was arrested for murder, but is dismissed as self-defense. And the real criminal here is rapper number one, who ordered the biomac that got his man killed. I had the phone records of two witnesses prepared to testify for what would have been a rock-solid RICO murder case. But for reasons that were never explained to me, the U.S. Attorney's Office declined prosecution, and rapper number one...
I've already seen this stuff, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, win some, lose some.
Obviously, he's implying that Jeezy told, because the feds just abruptly abandoning their plans to charge someone with a clear-cut RICO don't just happen without some form of cooperation. However, in the comment section, he only liked and responded back to two comments. The first comment he liked and responded back to was Jeezy and Gucci, and he says, I mean, you said it.
Yeah, I've watched this. Should I even finish this? I'm gonna just let this play out at this point.
The other comment that he responded back to and liked, also playing it coy, was, well, the BMF theory. Somebody commented, so Jeezy cooperated with the feds on Meech, so when this happened, he got a pass. That was what was being implied in the video. And by imply, I mean the FBI agent knows exactly what happened. He knows exactly what the theory is. And he knows this is the truth. And he responded back and liked it, and he says, interesting theory. I guess now we have our answers. I guess now we know why Jeezy was never charged when BMF was charged, even though literally any and everyone who was rolling around calling themselves BMF got charged. Literally any and everyone, bruh. Now we know why. And now we know why exactly Jeezy was never charged with the RICO for his home.
If you don't understand, he told him BMF Meech or BMF Big Meech.